Hello, I'm Mark Ells, Town Manager of Barnstable, and I hope this community update finds you well. We continue to move through the recovery phases relative to this COVID virus. On one hand, we have been seeing increasing positive cases across the Commonwealth and certainly here on Cape Cod and in Barnstable. The governor has made the decision to move us back a step in phase 3 of the recovery, which means that there are some more restrictions back in place that we have already moved through. So I would encourage you all, as I always do, to go to the mass.gov COVID website and look at the current orders and directives. You can also go on the town of Barnstable's website in COVID, and you can navigate through that and find the same state links and information. We are following all of the directives and orders of our governor, and will continue to do so. The positive news certainly is that there'll be watch our website and look at local communications relevant to additional testing that'll be offered. Late today and beyond. The additional testing site in Barnstable will be a mobile site over at the Melody Tent location in Hyannis. But stay tuned to that and watch that information and the availability of that as it progresses. We're also in direct discussions and receiving communications relative to distribution of vaccines. So it's early to try to predict when and where and how those will be applied, but there are some direct communications occurring right now. And the initial, administering that initially, we focused on prioritized groups. So we are progressing through this. We do expect to have to manage this through 2021. And we ask you to remain committed to wearing a mask, proper social distancing, stay cognizant of group size, and follow the guidance that's provided on group size. There's been some changes relevant to quarantining, but it's somewhat confusing. So take a look on the COVID website and then ask questions. And in general, take responsibility. I know that we're all ready to get back to life here, but we've got a while ahead of us before we're going to get there safely. So please keep that in mind. And thank you for continuing to adhere to these requirements. And we're hoping that as we approach spring, we'll see these upward trends flatten and begin to decrease. And we're hopefully going to move back toward lessened restrictions on what we can and can't do. On another topic, we had a very good workshop last night with our town council discussing fiscal policy relevant to our comprehensive wastewater management plan. So what is a comprehensive wastewater management plan? It's a plan to address water quality in Barnstable, specifically related to wastewater. And you all know, I believe, that we basically stand on top of the water we drink. So everything we do impacts that water resource beneath us. And a primary use of that water resource is drinking water. But it's also waters that feed into our lakes and our streams, and ultimately into our bays and out into the sound. And one of the limiting factors that we put into the ground, and when I say we, it's everybody, every single one of us, because it comes from urine primarily, is nitrogen. And on-site Title V systems don't remove nitrogen to the levels that it barely does any removal, but they nowhere near what needs to be removed to keep clean water and healthy systems, specifically our bays, down gradient. And the entire south side of Cape Cod is in a crisis relevant to this, Barnstable included. So our comprehensive wastewater management plan outlines over the next 30 years how we're going to reverse this and how we're going to restore water quality in Barnstable. This is part of our core mission here in Barnstable. We all came to the Cape because of water. And it is part of life. It is part of quality of life here. We also have a commitment to our youth to not kick this down the road, but to step up with a real plan. And part of that real plan is how you're going to pay for it, and begin to implement that plan on a timeline. That's what we're doing. So what I'm asking all of you to do in listening to this is begin to ask questions, look for information. We're going to be developing after the first of the year a more comprehensive and easily accessed website right on our homepage so that you can click into water quality and you can get all sorts of information about water quality, about ponds and lakes and concerns about, for example, cyanobacteria, about water quality in our public water supplies, and about our comprehensive wastewater management plan, as well as a lot of other information. I ask you to begin to follow this regularly. This will have a significant impact on our community. And at some point in time, we're going to be coming to our community and asking for financial support that we will all share in to support this effort. And you need to be knowing, regardless of how you feel about it, you need to be informed, because this is going to be a big decision for the future of our community and for the future of our children. We need you involved. We need you asking questions. We need to hear from you, especially if you don't understand or you can't find information. And you're going to see us ramping up these communications after the first of the year and there forward. This is a 30-year plan. This is a $1.2 billion program. It's probably the biggest single program that the town of Barnstable has ever embarked on. And I need you all to be involved. I'm going to be reaching out to our youth and engaging them directly, as this is their future. And I'm going to ask them to understand it and take a position on it and participate in it. So don't be surprised if your children and your grandchildren are coming to you wanting to know how we're going to proceed on this issue. Because again, this is a priority for quality of life in the town of Barnstable. And we are taking on the challenge of restoring and maintaining that quality of life and restoring our water resources to where they need to be. I thank you for viewing this community update, and I appreciate you thinking about participating, and I hope you will. And we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.